I walk a lot, like about 2 hours every day. I walk from my home to my office and back, and I love walking. It gives me time to think, it lets me spend time outdoors, and I see communities around the world adapting to more pedestrian-friendly walkways. But there's something we have to keep in mind. Walking can be dangerous. Sometimes drivers are distracted or they have a limited field of view. So how can we design the cities and cars of the future to be friendlier to pedestrians? Well, Toyota is our sponsor, so I took the opportunity to talk to Rini Sherony with Toyota's Collaborative Safety Research Center, and here's what she had to say. Hi there, Rini. It is a pleasure having you on Forward Thinking. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Jonathan, for having me.
Can you tell me more about the campaign and your work at the Collaborative Safety Research Center?
Yes, we have many projects, focused on safety, and one of the projects we have been working on for the past several years is on pedestrian safety. So pedestrian crashes are a big problem, not only in the US, but across the world. In US, for past several years, we have between 4,000 to 5,000 fatalities and many, many thousands of injuries. And that's why it's so important to address this issue. We have worked on a standardized test mannequin, which is representation of real-world humans, aka pedestrians, and also what are the standardized test scenarios that needs to be tested. We have also collected naturalistic driving data for pedestrian driver behavior, which is one of its unique kind in North America. We had 110 vehicles equipped with data recorder where the drivers go about doing their day-to-day job. They drove to school to drop their children off, they went to office, grocery store, and we have collected an immense amount of data. It was around 100 terabytes worth of data, which then computer vision scientists at Indiana University, Purdue University at Indianapolis, created an automatic tool to analyze and understand behavior. So we're not only analyzing the crash data, we're also trying to understand day-to-day driver and pedestrian interaction so that we can enhance our system development and other aspects of pedestrian safety.
Can you tell us more about some of the systems and technology that have been developed specifically to help drivers and pedestrians remain more safe?
Yes, absolutely. So the current system, the current pedestrian pre-collision system that Toyota has available on the market, it uses two sensors installed on the camera, a millimeter wave radar, and a stereo camera, means two cameras pointed at an angle. The combination of the two sensors, it detects if a pedestrian is in front of the vehicle and if there is a potential for crash. First, it provides a warning to the driver, so the driver can take any action. If the driver didn't do anything, then it automatically applies full brake to try to stop the vehicle or mitigate the crash.
Even if the pedestrian might be out of the field of view of a human driver, the vehicle itself has a much greater capability of detecting someone. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And just so you know, crash data analysis shows in US, 70% of the fatal pedestrian crashes happen in dark conditions. So it's very important for these sensors and the system not only to detect during the day, but at night. So our system is equipped with the infrared illuminator, which enhances the field of view beyond the driver's field of view and also the headlights field of view.
Right, so the cameras can physically actually detect light that's outside the visible spectrum, which is augmenting our ability to be alert, to be aware, and to react before a situation goes from being potentially dangerous to perhaps even being deadly. Where do you see this technology heading? Like, if you could peer into the future, what would that look like?
We're not only enhancing our internal product, but we want to benefit everyone, everybody, is other OEMs, suppliers, and in society, and improve road safety in North America. In addition, we're making this information public. As a result, anyone else can use this information to test their system. We are trying to make this research publicly available, so that's, I think, a big benefit for the society.
This is the sort of research that helps us in all ways that are multidisciplinary. We're talking artificial intelligence with the ability to recognize pedestrians. We're talking about analysis of big data. Mining through terabytes of data is no small task. We're talking about learning things that could actually help benefit us when we start planning communities. By learning how people behave and drive and interact with their environments, we can design those environments to be more conducive to those behaviors, to make them safer, more efficient. This is what I'm talking about as far as laying the groundwork for the future. So thank you so much for all of your work. This is really exciting to me.
So thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
My ideal city of the future will allow pedestrians and cars to move through the city freely, safely, with a minimum of fuss. But we have to acknowledge there's some obstacles in the way, challenges to overcome. And I've got a question for you guys out there. How would you design the city of the future to be more pedestrian friendly? I want to hear your best ideas in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like, subscribe to Forward Thinking, and join the Forward Thinking think tank. And check out these other videos. They're pretty awesome.